Happy Monday again, you guys. Oh, I'm messing up already. About to knock stuff over. Okay. So 10 weeks of biz planning and prepping, week 2. Now that we've had time to reflect, review, reprioritize, we're gonna move on to week 2. Well, first I do want to talk a little bit about week 1. So not everybody chimed in, but I do want to make sure that you guys understood what I wanted you to do. You can't fix anything if you don't know what's broken. We cannot move into 2020 with the same things on our to-do list that we've had on our list all of 2019. It's not acceptable. I'm not accepting it from myself, and I'm not accepting it from any of you. Just act like that's not an option, because it's not. So at the last week when I updated you guys, I had a few things already checked off my list. Let's see. This will be my second video this month, so I'm doing better on that. Definitely surpassed my income goal for October. What else? It might have been the only other thing. I'm officially moved into my space. Not officially, there's still boxes and stuff everywhere. I took a Saturday off. I did not work at all yesterday. I didn't even take my laptop home. Like, it was at my office. I went home. I didn't check the email, didn't respond to an email, nothing. That was a freaking accomplishment. So just continuing to like go through my goal list and check things off. It is not too late. Continue to do that. I encourage you to do it once a quarter, once every month, then once a quarter, and then 6-month mark, 12-month mark. Just always be ready to improve. Okay, whatever. So we're gonna move to week 2, which is update your offerings. So now that you've had time to think about what your goals are, how you're gonna reach those goals. Obviously, we're all here because we have businesses or are trying to start businesses, and we have to offer things for people to buy them. And they have to know what they're buying. It has to be clear, it has to be priced right, it has to be solving the right problem, all of that good stuff. So we're gonna assume, unless anybody needs any extra help, contact me if you need help on knowing whether or not you're solving the right problem with the offerings and the services and products that you're already offering. But assuming that you're already doing that, right? If your goal is to be the best PR agent in like the Midwest in the beauty industry, so like beauty influencers or something, right? But you're offering resume revamps and logo creation, and you like throw events, not throw events, but you like, you're a party promoter or an event planner. Obviously all of those jobs are like great jobs, everybody needs all those things, but that has nothing to do with you being the best PR agent in the Midwest for beauty influencers. It's just not. Go back to the drawing board. Like, it's not working. You are not solving the right problem for the service and business that you're trying to run. I think a lot of us are scared to only offer one type of thing, so then we try to be a jack of all trades, but really it's not working. There are people out there that you see them offering all of these different things that don't go together, and they may act like they're doing something and that is working for them, and I bet a racket they not. Like, I'll say it, they can't be, because how can you focus on that many different people and that many different problems? Those services span industries, they span problems, they span types of people, income. Like, you just can't do all of that, and we're scared to miss out on money, so we offer all of these different things that we're good at, when really if you just did one thing really freaking well for a while and had enough receipts, like, that money will stack up to the same amount. Like, it will surpass it. So imagine if you narrowed your offering down to 3 services. 3 packages that you knew for sure I can get you these results. So what we're all doing now, especially in the early stages, is offering all these different things, and like really our clients are only getting like cool results. They're not mind blowing. But you know deep down somewhere, you might have not figured it out yet, but you know deep down somewhere that if you focus on this one thing that you're really, really good at, you can blow some people away. Do it. Do it. Narrow it down to what you can promise the results for. Like, where can you sell a transformation? You revamping resumes, if that's not your lane, but you know somebody said that your resume was good, so you're like, cool, I'm gonna start doing this for other people. I get it, but no, that's not. We're thinking long term here. Figure out exactly what you can promise. What are you excellent at? And maybe not even excellent, but what are you so good at that you could package this, promise the results, and you can see people coming to you just for that. Like, you want to be that go-to person for that. Let's focus on that part, because then we take out all of the fluff, all of the gimmicks, and you can raise your prices, because if you're the go-to person for that and your results are undeniable, the receipts are undeniable, imagine how much money you can make, y'all. Like, I'm talking to myself too. I've had to cut out a lot of stuff. And that's my transparency moment. So, when I started, I definitely was, I can't even say was, because I still suffer from imposter syndrome, but I definitely was super insecure about what I was offering, what I was good at. It mostly stemmed from me not having a degree in design or in photography or anything. Like, I had no receipts yet. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do this photo shoot for $50 or whatever. Because, you know, where are my receipts to charge somebody any more than that? So part of it was like insecurity, but part of it was also like, I've always been a person that wanted to earn something. I was in the game 5-6 years before I allowed people to give me the title of photographer. I'd be like, oh, you know, I'm still learning, I'm taking pictures, I'm an amateur, like those types of words, because I hadn't earned it yet. I'm not telling y'all to go out and be like, I'm the go-to person for millennial career coaching. You might not be, not yet. But if you was to focus on that one thing and gain the experience and collect the receipts, you can build up to saying that. But you can never get there if you looking left and right and behind you and what that person doing, and oh, I can do that too, and trying to expand to all these different things that make no sense for the long-term goal. So that's why we do the review and reflect in the beginning. What's the long-term goal? Where am I trying to go? If you can solidify that, then we can solidify the steps on how to get there. So I definitely started off like really insecure, setting really low prices. And then when I creeped into design, like, I don't know how many of y'all know my story, but my book is coming. That sounds so weird. I hate plugging myself. I was a journalism major in college originally. Got to school freshman year, school I went to, Webster University, I'll say it, shit, I don't care, was behind the times. First semester of journalism school, they were teaching newspapers. This was 2010. I couldn't remember the last time I saw somebody reading a newspaper at that time. Imagine now, like if I would have stuck in the program the way that the program was, I honestly don't know where I would be. I went into college fully knowing, like even growing up, I fully knew that I wanted to create and design and run my own magazine. Obviously, I've gotten a little further away from that. I did for a while. Not my own, obviously, but I did design a magazine for a few years. But I knew that newspapers wasn't it. Nobody was reading newspapers. And actually, so Webster University is in St. Louis, Missouri, for those of you who do not know. And at that time, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch had just laid off and got rid of like most of their staff. There was like one editor. Everybody was freelancers. Like, they weren't hiring people. You could not get a job in newspaper at that time. I doubt that it changed. I just don't know. I wasn't about to stay in that program. I went directly to my professor and said, okay, look, they teaching me how to write for newspapers, and I want to learn how to write for magazines and for blogs and websites and stuff like that. My professor said, yeah, we ain't got that. Not my, what is it called? Counselor. Y'all know the word I'm looking for. I feel like I said it the first time. Now I can't figure out what the word is. And he was just like, yeah, we don't have that. Let's figure out, like, not as a program. We have those classes, so let's figure out how we can pull those classes together and make the degree that you want. And that's what I did. And in that process, like, looking at, because when you go to school, like, you're in the journalism school and you're searching for your classes, you just look at the journalism classes. This opened me up to looking at all of the different classes within the School of Communications that I could build my degree with. I'm like, coding? That sounds hard. I hate myself. Let me try that. Like, I just started dabbling in everything, and that's how I got into all the things that I know. I still never took a photography class, and I never took a design class. My best friend at the time was a designer, and I literally learned by watching him. And when I decided that I was good enough at it to offer, I wouldn't say decided, when people decided for me that I was good enough at it and they wanted to pay me to do it, even if it was measly money, that made me super insecure, because I'm like even my best friend went to school. He was a design major. He was a graphic design major. And I'm like, I don't know anything. I literally only know what he knows, and probably only a fourth of that. So I was really insecure about it. But I remember one day him telling me, like, you don't have to go to school for this. Look what you're able to do just by looking at a magazine. Like, he pointed out to me that I had an eye of learning by seeing. I learn by doing. I'm not a listen and soak it in and comprehend, because I'm not. If you think I'm listening, I'm probably not. My brain goes a mile a minute. I can't learn by listening. Sitting in classes and lectures. Actually, the one photography class that I did try to take was, you had to take a prerequisite, which was a history of photography, a lecture, history. A lecture. I might have lasted 3 weeks. I don't learn that way. I love photography. I was committed to it, but I was not committed to learning in that manner. What I did was, my best friend was also a photographer. We would skip classes and take our cameras and go to the park and figure out how to work them. Like, that's the type of, so I had to tell myself and teach myself recently, like way too recently, that these insecurities were ridiculous, because regardless of how I learned it, I'm good at it. And not just good at it, I've been able to collect enough receipts to say I can get you these results, and that's really all that matters. So what the heck was I talking about? Oh, so when I started out, though, I was still really insecure, and my whole business model was, I'm gonna work with new entrepreneurs that are just starting out. They don't have nothing. I'm help them, create their visuals. They're starting from the beginning, blah, blah, blah. And then, which was cool for a while. I mean, I still love working with people, because it's the joy of seeing them light up of like, oh, like this. People think that when they have a logo, like they have a business. And for me, it's more of like the joy of giving them hope. That sounds kind of sinister, but y'all know what I mean. So like, I still really do enjoy working with first-time entrepreneurs, new businesses, all that type of stuff. But as I was getting bored and wanting to experience bigger projects, more variety of projects, and then I lost my job. And I realized, these first-time entrepreneurs, new small businesses can't pay my bills. How do I get bigger, better clients? How do I attract people with the pockets to pay me for bigger, better projects? And from my reflecting and review, which is again why we did that first, I realized I was like everything that I was saying and showing, whether it was social media, word of mouth, me just talking, like everything that I was saying and showing said affordable, cheap services. Maybe not those words exactly, but that's what I was selling. And when you sell affordable and cheap, you attract cheap people. And those people are not willing to scale with you. They're looking for cheap services that are good but not excellent. They're not looking for results. They're looking for an end product that's okay. And I was no longer satisfied with okay. So when I updated my offerings, the first thing that I did was decide who exactly do I want to work with. And it came a little easier for me because I had actually a client stumbled onto me. Ashlee was School and Life Pod. First person to ever, had I lost my job already? I think I had. And the first person to come to me, and right after I had decided what my new packages were gonna be and had raised my prices a little bit, terrified. I was like, I ain't gonna make no money. Ain't nobody gonna pay these prices. Just put it out there and let's see what happens. And I would say within a few weeks, I got the inquiry from her, and she was interested in every single one of the offerings, the services, the products that I had. Every single one. Like I had never had anybody come to me before and I can't say needs, they probably did need it, but purchase a photography package, graphic design packages, and ongoing support. Never had happened. Like I couldn't even, if I hadn't done the research and after like planning and reviewing, I wouldn't have even known that was a thing. Like I was still researching how to run this type of business and looking at what other people were doing. And once from my research, that's how I kind of put together like, oh, I should be offering things like this and figuring out how to offer those things. And as soon as I felt like I was ready, not even when I felt like I was ready, because I completely was not ready. But as soon as I felt like I had something that sounded good and that the prices were like, okay, I can live off of this, I put it out there, and I still was not sure if people were gonna buy it, and somebody did. So, and I go back to this email often. I ended up, after the project was over and Ashlee and I had been working together for a while, I realized that I still wasn't saying the right things to attract other people like her. So I sent her an extensive feedback form, requesting a testimonial, but asking such specific questions that honestly, I am so sorry for making you answer all those questions. I know you're that type of person too, so like you didn't mind, but it was just like, I'm glad I met her, because otherwise I wouldn't be where I am. Because I had no backbone, I had nobody else in the industry to ask, like, how do I attract these types of people? So when this person came to me and trusted me and needed everything that I had to offer, even the things that she didn't even know she needed and I just kind of suggested, she was like, yeah, let's do it. You the expert, and I'm like, you trusted me? Like, that was so weird to me. So I sent her this extensive email, like begging for information of why me? Why did you trust me? What did you see that, like, I fully knew. She actually told me when we had our first call, a consultation call, that she was fielding other designers. So I needed to know, why did you choose me? How did you find me? What was it about me that, made you say, yeah, let's do this? And then after that initial project, what made you need me to stay around? Like, not that I didn't feel like I I could fulfill that need, because I mean, it's been like over 2 years now, Ashley, I don't know. So it was a perfect fit, but I wanted to know how, because I need to be able to replicate that. That's the only way you can scale. And her feedback was invaluable. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is, I'm already at 20 minutes. What I'm trying to tell y'all is that if you don't reflect and review, you can never get to this stage of updating your offerings and knowing exactly who you're talking to. Like, I can't, sometimes I say that and I think people miss what I'm trying to say, but you have to know exactly who you're talking to. Just promoting doesn't work. Like, because if you're talking to the wrong people, you're promoting your ass off and nobody's listening because it's not for them. I don't know why I just got so worked up about that, but my transparency moment was basically like, in the beginning, I fully get. I was talking to people and like really pushing this whole affordable, cheap prices and working with the newbies, the people that didn't know anything. Like, I wanted to be the go-to person for that beginning stage. And then I realized, one, I had way too much to offer to continue to do that. And also, with no bills getting paid. I mean, not a one, Jesus. But the one thing that I wanted to stay true to was that I still wanted to help those people. But guess what? If my bill's not paid, I can't help nobody. So how do I create packages and prices that help me live so that I can help other people? Because yes, I still want to work with the person who, you know, I believe in what they're doing, what their service is, what their business is, but they only got a couple $100. I can't help that person when I want to if there's not somebody buying the full price package, if that makes sense. Like, stores can't offer discounts if, like, you can't put something on sale that the price, again, I'm getting worked up. You can't put something on sale if your profit margins are already too low. If your profit margin is 60%, you can't run a 70% markdown. Like, none of those. You have to make sure that you serve yourself and your business first so that you can help those other people. So yes, it's okay to want to be affordable, but at what cost? So when you're updating your offerings, and when I say offerings, I'm talking about the services and the products that you're offering and at what price. One, as a recap, narrow them down. Make sure they all serve a purpose. Make sure it all makes sense, because there's nothing worse than promoting your ass off and nobody knowing what the hell you're talking about. You're gonna be tired and broke. Because if it don't make sense, people are like, there's so much noise out there with businesses right now. Being an entrepreneur, starting a business, franchising, like, it's, I hate to use the word oversaturated, but it is. So when you compete, like, you have to come correct. Like, you have to narrow it down, be specific. So I'm challenging y'all right now. If you are offering something just because it's quick money, let it go. Unless you can scale that quick money, let it go. Because it's doing nothing but slowing you down. It's doing nothing but confusing your audience. They about to tune you out. That's just it. What else do I have here? I had notes, but completely did not pay attention to them. Okay, so throw away all of your unnecessary and confusing services. Raise your prices to reflect the confidence you have in the transformation you're selling. Whatever your level, I'm not gonna say it like that, but your level of confidence might be low. But okay, let's say it like this. The level of confidence that you have in the privacy of your room, in the mirror, that level of confidence, raise your price to match that. Because once you say it, it's out there. And you can't just lower down your level of confidence just to make other people feel comfortable. If you can sell this transformation, what would that cost? Raise your prices to reflect the confidence you have in the transformation you're selling. And then number 3, attract your ideal client. Ideal client, not just any old client. Ideal client. What does he or she look like? Where does he or she live? How much do they make? What are their pain points? What do they hate? What type of words do they use? Where do they shop? Where do they hang out? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Facebook? Are they not on social media at all? Like, you have to create this client profile to know exactly who you're talking to. If you're just out there talking, you tired. I know you tired, because I was tired. I don't know how to stress this enough. Like, this part is so important. Like, out of all the 10 weeks, I only have up to week 8 planned, if I'm being honest. I can't say it's the most important, but god damn it, if you don't get this part right, the rest of it don't make sense. So, y'all, throw away unnecessary and confusing services. Raise your prices to reflect the confidence you have in the transformation you're selling. And attract your ideal client, the one that can pay you and the one that's going to respect your process and your prices.